chasing the truth.
Let's talk wildcard football this Saturday at 4:30 on NBC. The Cleveland Browns take on the Houston Texans. The Browns travel to Houston. Now, the Houston Texans should have lost to the Indianapolis Colts last week, and I know the Texans have the big-name quarterback in C.J. Stroud, but their only real weapon on offense is Nico Collins. What I really expect to happen here is the Browns, led by Joe Flacco, Amari Cooper, and David Njoku, an all-pro tight end, and a Browns defense that can really get after the passer. I expect the Browns to pull out a win. Dolphins versus the Chiefs. You know, they have the Chiefs here as the superior team, a 90 overall rating to the Dolphins 88. But here's how I feel that the game goes. It's on at 8 o'clock, the game, and it's on Peacock Station, whatever the hell that means. I have no clue. You know, it's just the NFL they don't have enough money. And this has all been a setup from day one with Taylor Swift to get all the Swifties involved, so they'll pay for this game. That's another way of the NFL saying F you to its fans, like they always do. But that's a whole different video. So it's as simple as this. I feel the Chiefs have too many distractions with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Kelce, the Chiefs' best offensive weapon, his play has fallen off this year significantly. The Dolphins, they have elite team speed, especially on offense. And the Dolphins have better overall weapons. I think Tyreek Hill has a big game, and the Dolphins will win a close one at Arrowhead, but they'll pull out the victory. So the next game up is, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. Madden gives the Bills an 87 overall rating, gives the Steelers an 80 rating. But here's how I feel about the game. The game's on at 1 o'clock on CBS on Sunday, January 14th. But Josh Allen is on a whole different level than Mason Rudolph. I don't even think it's close talent-wise. The Steelers are without TJ Watt. Minka Fitzpatrick is banged up from the injury that he suffered a couple weeks ago. Hasn't played in 2 weeks. And Cameron Hayward still hasn't fully recovered from his groin injury. So all three superstars are having issues for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are my team, and I really don't like to say this, but I think the Buffalo Bills win handily. You know, the Steelers are on the road at Buffalo. And the storyline of the game will be, Coach Tomlin and the coach of the Buffalo Bills, Sean, I think it's McVay. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, McVay. They played college football together. If you look at the teams, the way they're very hard-nosed and disciplined and coached is the same, the teams are very, very similar in their nature. Again, the Steelers are my team. It hurts me to say this, but I think the Buffalo Bills pull out an easy victory. Next up, you have the Packers playing the Cowboys at Dallas. Let's find the Packers. Packers have an overall rating of 79 in Madden. Cowboys are an 89. And here's how I feel about the game. It's Sunday, January 14th, 4:30 p.m. on Fox. Dak Prescott is playing the best football of his career with the best receiver in football, C.D. Lamb, who has 135 receptions for 1,749 yards. He's averaging 13 yards a catch and 12 touchdowns, which are incredible numbers. Tony Pollard, the starting running back for the Cowboys, has over 1,000 yards rushing and 4 yards a carry. This is obviously the best team that Dak Prescott's ever played on as far as him being on the Cowboys. The Cowboys have a ferocious defense led by Micah Parsons, where they can really get after the quarterback. In the Packers' last 7 games, they have 5 losses to the Falcons, the Lions, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Vikings. I think this is an easy victory for the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Packers get blown out of the building by the Dallas Cowboys. Easy victory for Dak. And again, he's playing some of the best football he's played in his career, and he will advance. I personally believe that the Dallas Cowboys will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. They are the best team by far in the NFC. Next game is The Rams take on the Lions at the Lions Field. Let's find the Rams. Rams are ranked at 84 in Madden. Detroit's ranked in 86 in Madden. Here's my take on the game. It's Sunday at 8 p.m. on NBC. I think the Rams are completely overrated. If you look at their schedule in the last 9 games, they lost to Green Bay, Dallas, Pittsburgh. They beat Arizona. They lost to the Eagles, beat the Colts in overtime, lost to the Bengals, lost to the 49ers, and beat the Seahawks. The Rams lost to every team that had a 500 record or better. And this is not going to hold up against the tough, hard-nosed Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are led by Jared Goff, who is also playing his best pro football since he's entered the league. He has 30 touchdowns. David Montgomery, the running back for the Lions, has over 1,000 yards rushing. And the super explosive Amon-Ra St. Brown has 119 receptions for 1,515 yards and 10 total touchdowns. The Lions are the tougher, better team, and the hard-nosed Dan Campbell will have the Lions roaring to play at home against the Rams for a win. Now, this last matchup is very intriguing because the Eagles are playing some very bizarre football. The Eagles will be traveling to Tampa Bay. Let's look at the Eagles rating. Eagles' overall rating is at 86. Tampa Bay's overall rating is at 83. This game is Monday night at 8 p.m. on ABC. The Eagles are led by Jalen Hurts, who has 3,858 yards passing, 23 TDs, and 15 interceptions, who has a finger injury as we speak. DeAndre Swift, the running back for the Eagles, he's sick right now and missed practice. He has over 1,000 yards rushing, only 5 touchdowns. And A.J. Brown, who leads the Eagles in receptions and receiving yards, he has 106 receptions with 1,456 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. Also, which isn't a good sign for the Eagles, Reed Blankenship leads the team in tackles with 113 tackles and 3 picks. When your safety is the leading tackler on your defense, it's never a good thing. So obviously, the Eagles are not playing good football. In the Eagles' last 6 games, they're 1-5. They lost to the Giants, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, and the Niners, and they won one time when they played the Giants for the second time. That's not really saying much. The Giants are terrible this year. The Bucs are led by Baker Mayfield. Again, another quarterback who is probably having the best season ever as a pro. He threw for 4,044 yards and 28 touchdowns and 10 picks. Rashard White, who the starting running back for the Bucs, ran for 990 yards, 6 touchdowns, while averaging 3.6 yards a carry. Mike Evans, the star receiver for the Bucs, has 79 receptions for 1,255 yards and 13 touchdowns. The Bucs are 5-1 in their last 6 games, beating the Panthers, Jaguars, Packers, Falcons, and the Panthers again. Their only loss was to the Saints. I think the Bucs, are on a roll here, and I think they will take that momentum into the playoffs and defeat the Eagles. The Eagles are falling apart at the worst possible time, and I don't see it getting any better at this point. Jalen Hurts is hurt with a finger. DeAndre Swift has an illness. Their starting corner is out. Their secondary is banged up. I think that Baker Mayfield grits out a win here, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will move on to the next round of the playoffs.